In today's episode of Geography Now, we're going to do the country that has been most requested by far, so this should be fun. Oman. Oman is a country in Western Asia. It lies along the southeastern corner of the Arabian Peninsula, bordering Saudi Arabia to the west and the United Arab Emirates to the north. It also has maritime borders with Iran and Pakistan. The country stretches from the mountains of the interior to the desert sands of the Rub al-Khali, also known as the Empty Quarter. In addition to these vast sandy plains, the country is characterized by the Hajar Mountains, which run along its entire length. This mountain range splits the country into two distinct regions, the Batina coastal region and the more arid interior. Within the Hajar Mountains are wadis, which are valleys that contain rivers during the rainy season. However, much of Oman's terrain can be described as arid mountainous desert, including the famous sand dunes of the Rub al-Khali, the largest continuous sand desert in the world. The highest point in the country is at 3,080 meters above sea level. That would be Jabal al-Thawr, which is found in the Hajar Mountains. The longest river in the country is the Wadi Daika River, which is about 180 kilometers long. Oman also contains a number of offshore islands, most notably Masira Island, which is the largest, and the Musandam Peninsula, which juts out into the Strait of Hormuz. As far as climate goes, Oman experiences a desert climate in most of the country due to its location in the Arabian Peninsula. However, the Hajar Mountains create a climate variation where the windward slopes receive more rainfall, leading to a more varied landscape. Most of the precipitation falls between the months of November to April, although it is still uncommon to see rain in most parts of the country. Temperatures throughout the year can reach up to 40 degrees Celsius, with some areas experiencing up to 50 degrees Celsius during summer months. Now let's take a look at the people of Oman. First off, it is important to note that there is only one native ethnic group in Oman called Arab Omanis. They make up around 95% of the population, with the remaining 5% being made up of non-Arab Asians and other groups. The official language of the nation is Arabic, specifically the Omani dialect. However, English is widely spoken in business and education settings due to its historical ties to the British Empire. The majority of the Omani people follow the Ibadi branch of Islam, making it one of the few countries in the world where a non-Sunni Muslim sect is the state religion. Ibadi Muslims make up around 85% of the total population, while Sunni Muslims account for about 10%. Roughly 5% of the population practices other forms of Islam, such as Sufism, as well as other religions like Christianity and Hinduism. Omanis generally enjoy a high standard of living compared to other Gulf states, and the literacy rate among adults is over 86%, a testament to the government's investment in education. Now let's get into the history of the people of Oman. Omanis trace their roots back to the ancient Arabs who inhabited the Arabian Peninsula. The area now known as Oman was part of the larger cultural and trading networks that connected the region from Mesopotamia to the Indian subcontinent. During the 7th century CE, Islam arrived in Oman through the efforts of Arab missionaries and traders. The Ibadi branch of Islam, which is now the dominant faith in Oman, emerged during this period. One notable figure from early Omani history is the Prophet's grandson, Al-Hassan bin Ali, who played a significant role in spreading Islam in the region. From the 8th to the 16th centuries, Oman was part of various larger empires and sultanates. It experienced influences from the Sassanid Persians and the Rashidun, Umayyad and Abbasid caliphates. The Portuguese also had a brief presence in Oman during the 16th century, but they were expelled by the Omanis. By the mid-17th century, Oman became an independent state under the Yarubid dynasty, Muscat and Oman became a significant trading center for various commodities like ivory, rhinoceros horn, slaves, and precious stones. During this time, Omani ships reached East Africa, establishing connections that led to the Omani Swahili civilization, evident in the architectural and cultural similarities between Oman and the Swahili coast. In the 19th century, Oman entered into a treaty with the British Empire, securing their protection in return for Oman's commitment to not making a separate peace with any other power. This alliance continued until the mid-20th century. After World War II, the British granted Oman independence within the Commonwealth on February 19, 1970. Sultan Said bin Taimur initiated modernization efforts and established diplomatic relations with many countries, including the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, China, and the United States. The country adopted a new constitution in 1996, further solidifying its position as a modern state while still maintaining its cultural heritage. Under the current ruler, Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, Oman continues to play an active role in regional and international affairs. Now let's take a look at the flag of Oman. The flag of Oman features a bold red rectangle bordered in white on all sides. At the hoist side, there is a white triangle containing a stylized green sword pointing outwards. Above the sword handle is a seven-pointed white star, and below it is a white crescent moon. The red field symbolizes courage, strength, and the nation's commitment to Pan-Arabism. The green stripe represents nature and Islam, with the sword symbolizing courage, unity, and revolution. The seven-pointed star is believed to represent the seven heavens, or the perfection of unity. And the crescent moon signifies Islam and the Omani people's aspirations for progress and enlightenment. And now for the big question: how did this small nation become the fastest-growing economy in the Middle East? Well, Oman's economic growth can be attributed to several key factors. Firstly, its strategic location along important maritime routes has historically made it a hub for trade and commerce, connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe. Secondly, the discovery of oil in the mid-20th century transformed the nation's economy, providing substantial revenue and laying the foundation for infrastructure development. The government's focus on diversifying the economy away from oil, promoting sectors like fishing, mining, manufacturing, and tourism, has contributed to its growth. Additionally, Oman's stable political environment, diplomatic relations with numerous countries, and membership in international organizations have fostered economic cooperation and foreign investment. Furthermore, the country's relatively small population and emphasis on education have created a skilled workforce that is equipped to meet the demands of a growing economy. While challenges remain, Oman's geographic location, resource wealth, and commitment to diversification have positioned it for sustained economic growth and prosperity. All right, guys, that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please stay tuned for more. And if you want to learn more about Oman, check out the description below. Thanks for watching.